call the meeting to order. And the agenda of the meeting is attached, and right now I'd like to call the meeting to order. Review and approve the minutes of the meeting of March 25th and April 22nd. The reason we have two is that we didn't have a quorum in one of these meetings.
We had a quorum, but last month we didn't have enough of the people that had been at the March meeting.
Right, I missed the March meeting, so
yeah.
it was,
So,
yeah.
we had to,
And Marshall wasn't here.
Yeah.
I take it you're much better now.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm good to be out and about.
Attaboy.
I'd like to move the minutes from March 25th and April 22nd be approved as circulated.
Is there a second?
I think we have to do each of them separately. Because
no, Tom can just second.
Okay.
Second, but I wasn't at the meeting then.
Oh, which one?
22nd.
25th, April.
April, you weren't at April.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to do
So we'll
each
do
one
them separately.
All right.
Yeah.
So who was at March?
Pretty sure I was.
Okay. So
I'll second
March.
March.
Okay,
Second
you're going.
March.
Okay.
And I'll second April.
Thank you.
All right.
Well done.
I thought that
Any further discussion on that March meeting? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Now, tell me who can vote on March. March.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then April was moved by Janet and seconded by Chris.
Right. Any discussion on that April meeting? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And those present were,
Bill Bedard, Chris
Yeah.
Conlon, and Janet Kramer.
Three of us.
oh, right there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Now, we'd love to say that we have a lot of residents and citizen participation, but I don't see a lot of folks
Yeah.
here, sadly.
I think the weather
Yeah.
is a little nice.
So, anybody have any comments on the report? We'll go right into our staff reports then. Property managers. REAC inspection.
Yeah, sorry.
Can we have an update on the smoking policy reviews?
Yes, on the pink sheet, you'll see that Heidi wrote up smoke-free update. They had two meetings at SEA. They were both very well attended, and there was lots of conversation at both of them. As a result, they did put out the survey again. The survey is attached, and the results were identically the same as they had been before. They had.
Sorry. I was going to say it was interesting because the first meeting we had, they were pretty much all the non-smoking people. And then the second meeting was mostly smoking people. And I couldn't help comment is these people, the smoking people, we've never seen them before at any of the other meetings. And it was, where were you guys when we wanted your input for the policy? So we promised them we'd go back and we'd do the new survey and look at it, and it's going to be pretty much the same because the survey came back almost exactly as like the other surveys. So it was.
We did put, well, let me, at Hayes Court, there were two meetings. Neither was very well attended, but the general consensus was that they wanted more non-smoking buildings. As a result of these 4 meetings, we decided to put the pavilions on hold until we had gone back and resurveyed and, gotten it all out again. So those are on hold. And the committee will get back together the week of June 3rd to discuss and possibly redraft the proposals. George, who's the property manager at SEA, will join the committee, and Christine Hazard, our SASH coordinator, has been invited to speak and share. SASH has a big component on non-smoking and helping people with smoking cessation. And then the plan is to have one more, to release the proposal again, have one more meeting in each property, and then it will need, because it's a change in policy, it will need a 30-day notice to residents, and then we typically try to submit policy changes to you twice. Once is for review and just to take a look at it, and then the second is for action. So
Will we be doing this for all of the housing authority?
eventually we will. We're starting with SEA and Hayes Court.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Does anybody have any further discussion on the smoking policies?
The only point I could mention is we really can't bring this to people's attention too many times. They will have plenty of opportunity
Yes.
to comment, and if they don't, well, there's nothing we can do about it.
And I'm not sure if I know they presented the pavilion in all these meetings, and I'm not sure whether the drawing and the sketch.
Yeah, it was
They were,
presented.
they were.
But are they, I'm asking,
Oh.
Tom, are they posted at the High
No, they're
Road?
not.
Okay, I'll ask that they posted it.
There was very different views on that. I mean, it was, everybody, I think every person at the meeting had a different opinion about the new pavilion at Sam Elliott. At Hayes Court, there were 3 people at the first meeting and no one showed up for the second meeting.
Oh.
So,
I think that at Elliott, one of the things that we should have done in hindsight is that we should have posted the pavilion and the site plan in advance of the meeting.
Mhm.
So people got that at
Yeah.
the meeting, and I think they were immediately reacting to, and those meetings are big and they're hard to, explain and see everything. So I think now people are starting to get an idea of where they're going to be, and
there was a lot of discussion about the balconies and
right.
smokers saying that they've tested the balconies and no one could smell smoke in their apartment. Non-smokers saying, wait a minute, I can smell smoke in
Yeah.
my apartment. So it was, I'm actually glad there's only going to be one meeting because I'd like to see the non-smokers and the smokers together instead of having, a smoking meeting and a non-smoking meeting. That will make a lot more sense.
So, no further discussion on the smoking. We will move on. Program manager, resident coordinators, SASH coordinator. This blue sheet that we have right here. Lucy Tell.
Blue and pink, the second pink sheet, and then the sash flash, and a green sheet for sash as well.
Does anybody have any thoughts or?
Well, I was impressed with Lucy Tell's discussion of working toward helping people set priorities to pay their rent on time.
I saw that too.
That the whole issue of being in compliance with rent doesn't seem to be a cultural constant with that. So the family self-sufficiency, that will be very helpful.
Claudia and Lucy are just doing a terrific job with this family self-sufficiency.
Excuse me, which culture are you talking about when you say it isn't a
Well,
cultural?
the sentence that I was addressing was, it's curious that with many residents, paying rent first is just not a priority for them. So I'm up against a cultural mindset for one, and lack of planning for two. So it just, I don't think there is a specific culture, but the idea that being on time with rent is something that has a certain element of pride to it.
A necessity,
Mm-hmm.
and necessity.
I was very happy looking at the people that have escrow balances and how high some of them have gotten.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
I'd love to know how to save on that.
These two have just done
Yeah.
more than I ever could have imagined. I mean, I thought we would limp our way up to 50 participants and it would be a struggle, and boy, it's just fabulous. And I love this new program that they've started, and I'm encouraging them to share it with all of the service providers around buying a car and the cost and responsibility of owning a car. How many residents have we seen that have gotten into serious rent problems because somebody sold them a car? And it was, they just didn't know how to go about planning. And Claudia and Lucy have actually done up a spreadsheet to help people figure out, here's the cost, here's what you're gonna have to pay every month for this car.
It's something that you don't think about.
No.
You think about the cost of the car, but you don't think about the carrying costs of the car.
Right.
That's right.
And it can be enormous,
Right?
especially if you get talked into buying a fancy car.
It happens.
One that isn't quite fancy and it's gonna require a lot of work. A lot of work.
That can be an expense too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you a deal.
I was up at the DMV today, and there were the 3 people, because there was a lot of people in there, who were totally shocked and didn't have enough money to pay their registration. That registration is $70 a year. And it's just something they didn't think about. And one guy said, well, I gotta go get some more money. Get another money order.
Here's a check.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they're doing just a terrific job.
Mm.
And we have our new part-time stash person, and I think she'll be very, very good. She's really got a lot of background in running groups and putting on group presentations, and that's really what we're going to have her focus on.
I was just gonna ask you, how is Sandy doing?
Very well.
You think she's
Yeah.
fitting the bill here?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
She's going to do great, and because we have a half panel, we have more wellness nursing hours, which is really needed.
Sandy came to the first smoking meeting at Sam
Oh,
Elliott,
yeah.
which was really nice to meet.
Yeah.
Nice to meet her.
And Christine is actually doing the Tai Chi program. She got trained in it, and she's doing it, and she said it's just great, and people really love it. They're finding it just
I
wonderful.
noticed you mentioned that many people, or some people at least, report they feel they have better balance already.
Yeah.
Major area to be concerned about. As we get older and our bones don't withstand sudden shocks, like relatively.
Yes.
Notice on number 3 here, we're looking at housing choice voucher program. Now, are we having an uptick on that as far as the vouchers, or no?
The news from HUD on the sequestration is very, very disappointing. I told you that we put in a waiver request to lower the payment standard. HUD, in its wisdom, decided after it was overwhelmed by waiver requests that they will process no requests. Even though it says in the law that they are supposed to, they are not considering any requests to lower the payment standard right away. Instead, they've gone to this $100 million pot of set-aside money. And they've said, so long as you have reserves, you will get no other money. So at the end of this year, we will have burned through everything but 3 weeks of reserves, and they think we are full of money. It's really infuriating, especially given that we had a problem with our Shelter Plus Care program where we ended up having to pay the landlords for 2 months because HUD didn't give us the money. It didn't execute the grant in time. So now, unless you can show HUD that you have 0 reserves, you have nothing left in your Section 8 program, they will not give you any assistance.
Wow.
And that, oh, it's just so infuriating because nobody runs a housing program with less than 3 months of reserves. Nobody. And they're making us drain our reserves. So that means that if they do this again to us, where we have a substantial payment in Shelter Plus Care, it's a fraction of what we pay the town landlords, we'll have to find that money somewhere. And it's $65,000. So it's unheard of what they're doing.
And it's so important to remember that Shelter Plus Care is for the formerly homeless, mentally ill. So the people who have the least reserves, psychologically, certainly financially, to withstand anything like that.
Well, that, yeah. And it's just wrong. The whole thing was wrong. So I am going to write a letter for whatever good it'll do to our legislative delegation and just say this is really wrong. To say that a housing authority has to drain its reserves is irresponsible. It's just so irresponsible.
Would it be more meaningful if members of the board that wish to co-sign that letter?
Sure.
Or if we wrote separately?
Oh, that would be great.
I think personally, and I don't know about the rest of you, somehow it feels in my mind that if you're willing, if we all co-sign the letter, that's going to have a lot more effect than 6 individual or 3 or 5 or however many individual letters.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful because I'm so, just,
You know, it's ironic, the air traffic controllers are going to be cut back.
yeah.
And Congress said, no, we don't want to be delayed on our airplanes. And I just read in today's Reform, or many, I didn't really go into it, high-level government officers are getting bonuses, cash bonuses. That's called austerity.
So HUD has to take furlough days, and their first furlough date is this Friday. I was like, sweet, they get a 4-day weekend. That's planning, all right.
It was one of those days they won't get paid for.
Damn it. I know, but still. When our folks are having to go through what they're going through, and then it's
Is the head of HUD getting one of these bonuses, Tom?
I didn't.
oh, I'm sure it is.
Probably.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it is.
Where is the letter going specifically?
It's going to our 2 senators, so Bernie Sanders and Senator Leahy and Peter Welch.
You just think of all the things that you need to do and you just got your hands tied. There's no money. Jeez.
Oh, it's just frosty.
Oh.
I mean, these are the very regulations that they write. They wrote these rules, and we try to follow them, and then they go, no.
No, there's something wrong when you're expected to run an organization such as this with no reserves.
No reserves.
And they're
You
usually tight.
don't you don't run a business that way.
Yeah.
If you do, you don't sleep at night. It's well.
It's more than infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We've got a Section 8 Management Assessment Program. It's a white piece of paper here, stapled. And
Yes, this is the annual CMAP certification. And in order for me to answer, I mean, it looks very, but I go through a very detailed audit of the Section 8 files to answer these questions. And we have forms that I fill out. And I have, this year in particular, the Section 8 files were impeccable, just impeccable. Everything was right there, you could find everything. I had a question on 2 of them, and it was just very clear what was up.
Do
So
you do all of these reports?
I do the audits,
Or
yes.
do we have somebody?
I do the audit, and then when our independent auditor comes, they audit my audit.
You're on.
And it's at least 90% of the files sampled, so you are really going through it thoroughly.
Oh yeah, for our program, it's between 8 and 10 files, chosen at random. And I always ask David and Jeannie to get me the worst files. Get me the hardest people, you know, the people that have, you know, medical deductions this thick, so that I can really take the ones that are more difficult and look at those.
Right.
But this was amazing. I mean, just everything right in place was very, very good. I will need you to approve this, and then I will need Bill to sign it.
I would move we approve the Section 8 Management Assessment Program certification for the year 2013.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Contract with Stevens and Associates for Whetstone Brook capacity study.
Yes.
Do you know?
I didn't send anything. We have the Melrose project has, as you know, many big moving pieces. And one of those big moving pieces is, what can we do with Melrose? Can we do anything? Can we do any site mitigation, any demolition, any increasing the width of the brook? Can we do anything? So we have received a proposal from Stevens and Associates, our engineers, to do that work, and we are in the process of reviewing it and refining it. So I just wanted to let you know that that was a contract that we would be entering into probably this week.
So we're reviewing their proposal, and then we'll decide.
Right, we'll-
the contract.
Yes, well, we want to change some elements of it and add some elements, so we want to make some changes before we sign it, but I'm sure we'll come to resolution this week on it.
I want to clarify, is the contract is to develop the plan for the Whetstone Brook capacity, not to make physical change at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure.
no,
that-
just it's to develop a plan, and then to, if you will, vet that plan with the permitting and the regulatory agencies to see if in fact, we know that if we build a wall and we take down these 2 buildings in a certain place, we can increase the brook capacity. The question is,
Can we do it?
yeah, will they let us? And if we do it, will it make any difference?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I just wanted to clarify
Yeah. That's good.
what we were deciding.
And the other piece that our development partner raised, which was very good, and Stevens did a little, but we need to really focus on it, is that in 2 years, Melrose will reach 30 years, will reach its historic, it's the time necessary for it to be designated a historic development, 40 years. in 2 more years. So,
Isn't it gonna be 50 years? Because I thought it was,
is it 50 years?
because it was
62, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's 50 years. So, anyhow, it comes into the eligibility of a historic property. And,
This has benefits to us.
well, it has benefits and it doesn't have benefits.
It has some problems.
It has some significant downside,
Okay.
such as if we wanted to put a second floor, we probably can't.
Because
Okay.
you'd be altering them in a start going.
Can't alter historic buildings. And one of the questions is, if we don't put it on the Federal Register, will the State Historic Preservation Division still want to take jurisdiction over the property? And if they do, then what happens? The good side is that we get waivers under the flood insurance program. That's why they were able to clean up the Latches Theater, for instance, and have very little done for flood mitigation because it's such a historic building. So that applies. But then the flood wall, raising the buildings, doing all that also applies.
Well,
So
there's a big
gotta
difference
figure that out.
between Melrose and the Latches. People come to the Latches out of choice and can leave it. We have residents living at Melrose, and therefore in a vulnerable population, in a vulnerable place.
Well, that issue remains no matter what happens, and we have to remove that population. So all of this assumes that we are not putting that population at Melrose.
Okay, I just
Mm.
need to be clear on that.
Oh, yeah, no. That's not gonna happen.
And this is something which does not occur unless we or some other party move for it to occur. It's not automatically at age 50 it becomes, or am I wrong?
Well, that's what we have to look into, because the
Okay.
state historic preservation people may say it's 50 years, it falls under the state historic preservation
Okay.
rules, and whether you have put it on the
That's-
Federal Register or not, we don't
Okay.
care.
I wasn't aware of the state's play. I knew it didn't go on the Federal Register automatically.
Right, unless we do that, but it's the state, will the state folks will they take jurisdiction over the property? Yet another
Complexity.
Another part to the puzzle. Okay. Well, stay tuned.
You got a note here too, a HUD consultant for BHA.
Yes, well, we had 2 things. We had an initial, as you know, we have contracted with Housing Vermont to be our development partner, and we had an initial meeting with them and their team, and I'm going to say it lasted almost the entire day, and it was really an excellent meeting. Really, really excellent, and they have really jumped on this, and they're looking to things, and they're going to be down here on Thursday, and they're really right on it. And then we did receive some proposals for a consultant to work for us, and under executive session, I want to tell you the one that we would like to, that we probably will contract with.
Okay.
But we did get 2 good proposals, I would say, right, Marshall? Marshall was
Yes.
a reader.
Mhm.
The green sheet shows you the payables that we had this last month. Anybody have any questions or anything you want to bring up to anyone?
no, just I want to say it in person, thank you, Marshall, for filling in for me
Oh.
that week.
No thanks required. It's something we do for each other.
I will say the same for
Yeah.
Bill.
Well,
Very
my
kindly filled in for me the first Friday in May when I was away.
No?
And if I may return the favor, I
Well,
think
if
I'd
it
be
ever
happy.
happens again, I'm retired, and I can scoot down and sign checks without any problem.
Unless he's busy mowing his lawn.
Unless I'm mowing
Or
lawns.
playing golf, you know, all these.
I'm not a golfer, so I'm
Oh, you're
mowing
not? I
lawns.
thought
No. Well, that's good.
Well, we need a check signer for July. And Bill, you're the only one not listed.
Well, I'm going to do August. July is not a good month for me,
Okay.
just due to the fact that,
All right, August, you're gonna do.
I'll do August.
All right.
But
And
I can't do
volunteers
July.
for July.
What are you, March?
Yes,
Yes,
March.
you did March.
You did March, right?
Would you like to do July?
No.
Would anybody like to?
June, July. I'll do it, I don't care.
Well, I was
I'm
gonna
pretty
say,
sure I'm going to be
I
there.
could do it. 2 months in a row wouldn't kill me, and that would free me up in case I want to go spend my time on Putney Mountain in the fall.
Oh, okay, so Marshall's got
Okay,
a
good.
plan.
Okay.
All right.
That way, I won't feel guilty
No.
if I
Right.
say no later.
And if you have difficulty with it, I'll be happy to do that,
Okay.
because I will be here.
As she noted too, I'm gonna do August, so then, but be thinking about September, October, November.
It comes around.
Hey, you just blink your eyes and say, we're already moved up to that month?
Comes back
I
around.
mean, it's really a tough job.
Mary will be pleased, we're already through August.
I
She'll
know.
be very
I
pleased.
know it, I know it.
Yeah, I hope that's not an imposition on the staff, because I think it's good for us to be up there.
Oh, no.
You learn a whole lot,
Mhm.
just
Oh,
looking at checks. And,
Yeah.
But don't forget to stop in and say hello to Jeannie.
Yeah.
In the new gal, that's, that calls
Anita?
us.
Yeah.
Is it Anita?
Mhm.
She's a sweetie.
She's great.
you know. Yeah, she
She's
is.
had everything very neatly arranged.
Mhm.
Yes, she does, yeah.
I worked with Anita for a lot of years, and it's so
Oh,
nice.
did you?
Yeah, and I've known her, and so she catches me up on all the old gossip from where we used to work. So it's,
Other business, I just want to confirm our meeting with select board
And I
tomorrow.
have for
Tomorrow.
you their agenda,
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask
and
that question, so I'm glad you brought it up.
there you go. Here's the agenda and the administrative report that goes, and that is on page 2 in the back. And it notes that we're going to be talking about progress made to date on plans to remove the at-risk population from the Whetstone Brook floodway.
Mhm.
But I've asked Dave DeAngelis to be there because I know that there are questions from some members of the select board about sequestration and what's happening to the housing authority. So David will be there, and I've asked Jack Mahoney to be there as well.
I just wish they had gotten us before the police and fire facility project.
All right, learn something.
Oh, it's the bonding
So-
issue, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, boy, that's
yeah.
gonna be a
If
big one.
I'm not there till 6:30,
Oh.
nobody's going to be upset.
No, it ain't gonna happen,
Or
so
probably even later. We'll see.
very likely.
Will it be impolite to bring my knitting?
You what?
Bring my knitting?
Oh,
Oh, no,
no.
absolutely not.
I've got about 4 different books I'm working on. I'll have to choose the one I like best and work on it.
So we'll be very glad to have as many can make it at this select meeting. Love to see you all there.
I was, I won't say cleaning out my computer, but I came upon your testimony about housing that you, several months ago, in the state.
Oh, okay.
That seemed to me was a very important assessment the new select board members might benefit from.
All right.
Actually, I read it again.
Kind of told my briefcase in.
Yeah, I found
Did I send it to you electronically? or-
Yes.
Do we have any other business to come before this meeting tonight?
If not, I would move we enter executive session session to discuss personnel and contracts.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.